and always focusing on symptoms and treatment thereof rather than on root causes and resolution thereof. There's a big difference. The big difference is with resolution of the root cause, you eliminate the problem. With treatment of the symptom, you hang on to the problem. You're treating or making the symptoms bearable without ever finding a solution. Let's dive into our friends at the Fibromyalgia Support Group, which is a lovely sampling of the general population as we meet it. Most of them are educated by the mainstream media, which means that they see the world through the prism of the mainstream medical system, the Rockefeller Carnegie mode of medicine that they have brought to us with patented medicines, patented drugs, and always focusing on symptoms and treatment thereof rather than on root causes and resolution thereof. There's a big difference. The big difference is with resolution of the root cause, you eliminate the problem. With treatment of the symptom, you hang on to the problem. You're treating or making the symptoms bearable without ever finding a solution.
And temporarily bearable, because after a while the drugs don't work.
Yeah, that's right. Because fibromyalgia, as we know it, is caused by toxicity more than anything. It's the high level of toxicity, and you cannot solve a problem caused by toxicity through the use of pharmaceutical chemicals, all of which are toxic to some specific organ. And in fibromyalgia, they try to toxify the nerves. Lyrica is trying to poison your brain or the connection between your peripheral tissues and your brain. With gabapentin, similar idea. They're trying to numb your brain from functioning or at least perceiving the brain. A bunch of others also mess around with the neurotransmitters, making it less likely for the signal from the tissue to reach your brain. But what if the problem were in your brain? Fibromyalgia primarily is an illness of the dysregulated amygdala, which is in your brain, just under your temples, where it processes sensory inputs. It's the safe, unsafe evaluation of the reality as you perceive it. Go ahead, Scott.
So you have to create an environment where you feel safe. So I have a really good one here, because it kind of emphasizes what you just said. And she starts off with, let's talk about the real hard stuff here. I was diagnosed in 2019. She was 25 years old. She's now 31. I mean, can you imagine? Well, you could, because it happened.
I can.
But I just, 25 years old and you're in pain. Like, I'm running around the tennis court and jogging. I just can't. It's just such a loss of such good years of your life.
Yep.
Say this does not get worse. Well, that's a lie. I have got much worse. My doctors and nurses told me one day on the phone, everyone will start to get pain eventually. Getting older, it's part of life. This pain is not normal, not one single bit. The pain in your shoulder blades, in your neck, the hugest thing is my shoulder blades. Let's talk about your spine. That's the biggest part that's bothering me the most. I almost can't stand it anymore and want to do some bad things to get out of the pain. Does anyone relate? I probably have 10 bottles of lidocaine. I go through beds like crazy. I take 4 showers and baths a day. It's still not enough. Tylenol and ibuprofen does not work anymore for the pain. I think that's the key to what you were saying before. does not work anymore. So it was a temporary fix. Gabapentin doesn't work. I've exhausted all antidepressants I'm on. No Nortriptyline, it doesn't work, but causes insomnia. I had influenza A in January that actually sent me into SVT. The weirdest, bizarre thing is that I had a 102 temperature. I felt awful, was coughing with chest pain, and was even given nitro. I had no pain. I just had a severe headache. My doctor asked me the first time I was shocked. What can you give me for pain since I already gave? Oh, I guess he said, what can I give you for pain since I already gave you Tylenol for the fever? And she says, what do you mean? He said, what can I give you for the pain? I have morphine, hydromorphine, or fentanyl. Oh my goodness. We just arrested a trucker driving across the border with 50 kilograms of fentanyl. I said, well, morphine makes me super dizzy, so he gave me hydromorphine, and I had no pain for 2 days. The first time I felt alive, but I still had the flu. I was completely pain-free. Then, boom, pain back. My doctor will not prescribe me any pain medication. I've been seeing her 7 years now. I went to pain management. They said, rest my mind, and it will go away. I didn't even ask for pain medicine. I wanted to try injections. He said, nope, those don't work. Nothing is working. No point, and sent me on my way. I don't understand. So they just want people to say, okay, I'm done. I'm checking out. I'm in so much pain that I become manic. Like I'm not even bipolar, but I have so much pain, I'm manic. I'm lashing out on everybody around me because I have myself in so much pain that now I'm mean, and with a crying emoji. I tried so many supplements, wasted so much money, biofreeze in my room, blah, blah, blah. And so there you go. Like if you're going to be trying to put a Band-Aid on, a massive sore, that's not going to help.
Yeah, this is just wild. Okay, so the story is very straightforward. It doesn't work. Can't make it work. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So this woman has inflammation. Pain is one of the symptoms of inflammation, but there are more. Redness, heat, swelling, pain, loss of function. All of which is accompanying the body's attempt to replace bad cells or worn out cells with healthy cells, normal cells. That, of course, is now happening body-wide. So it's a big problem because there's too many resources devoted to repairs and not enough resources available for living. I actually remember chronic pain. I spent several years in it. My life started with getting mercury into my body at 25. By 26, my back was out. By 27, it was out multiple times a year, and so on. So I lasted until about age 35, 36. So I was really hanging on to the mainstream. I tried everything. I tried the general practitioner, the orthopedic surgeon. Then I went to the chiropractors and the naturopaths. And then I tried all kinds of esoteric stuff. I could list it for 10 minutes, all the different things I've tried. None of it worked. So I think at about 35, I just had this meeting with myself that said, if you go like this, you're going to suicide. I was getting ready for that, but I had 2 children and a wife, and I thought that's just so selfish. I need to solve it instead, so I did. I decided to learn how the body really works, because my degree is in management consulting. And in management consulting, and I was in that field, we always ask, what is the cause here? If we see a problem, we see a problem, we say, why is the problem there? So to give an example, You come to the doctor and say, "Doctor, there's smoke coming in my bedroom window." And the doctor says, "Well, we have a fan that we can put near the window. It will blow it out. And if that's not enough, we could put in a filter. We'll put a filter in the window." The approach that you need to take is this. Stick your head out the window. Is your porch on fire? Okay. Now, in a human health kind of concept, that is, I always talk about toxicity, malnutrition, stagnation, and trauma. All of these are involved. They're like the four wheels on your car, four legs under your table. Any one of them could be the problem one. If you have a flat tire or underinflated tire on your car, if it's underinflated, the ride is compromised. If it's flat, you're going nowhere. And it's just one of the four. And then the wheel falls off, and then you're in trouble. But anyway, you need to solve this. You need to solve for root causes. All that you described, every one of those drugs and visits to the ER and all of that, that's a dead-end street. I promise and guarantee you. Here's why. Fibromyalgia is an illness of many, many symptoms. Many. But Western drugs are designed to deal with one symptom. So if you take this for the head pain and this for the neck pain and this for the whatever, right? Like you start taking different drugs. By the time you reach the fourth one, you're now having to take multiple drugs because of the side effects of the previous ones. No go. Never, ever will you get better using that thinking, that line of thinking and that methodology. It's an impossibility. So you either believe me or not.
On the post, there was 70 odd comments, and I just want to read one of them. And it says, she says, pain meds usually make the fibromyalgia worse. I'm on a mix of things. I have migraines that make the joint pain worse. I have a neurologist for the migraines. I see a rheumatologist for fibromyalgia, lupus, and Raynaud's. I also have spinal stenosis and I have a couple of vertebrae that are damaged and leaking. Oh, man, it's so sad. And the next person said, have you tried medicinal CBD? I'm using a ground sheet underlay, and it's made a big difference for my pain at night, and I get a better sleep. So,
yeah, that's a good thought.
The magic bullet, you know, like very few times does anyone ever say, you know, I've stopped eating potato chips and drinking Coca-Cola, and now I'm drinking more water and eating carrots.
Yeah, you don't hear people just go into the list of all the changes that they have made in their life. Okay, let me try and list for you the changes I have made in my life. See if that resonates. So one, toxicity. I removed toxic things from my environment. I switched. Cosmetics, none of the toxic stuff. Household cleaners, air filters, water filters. Stop buying GMO foods. Stop buying industrial stuff. If it's not a food ingredient, I don't buy it. I don't use it. So that means that, you know, I buy a potato and I buy a chicken and I buy whatever, right? Like I'm buying the food ingredients. I'm not buying it with the preservative agents and emulsifying agents and coloring agents and whatever else. Those are all extra and toxic, not needed. I also took all the heavy metals out of my body. I used zeolite to do that. Zeolite, clinoptilolite specifically, is very effective, cost-effective, and easy to take. Did that. Cleared all of that. Humic and fulvic acid, super important in that department too. So that was the detox, and I stopped the inflow of new toxins. So eat organic, not cheap, but the front end is way better to control the health than the back end. Like the expense on the back end is actually higher than the expense on the front end, if you really think about it. Meaning, buying better food is actually cheaper than having to stay in pain and buying drugs.